and welcome to Uprisings. My name is Muriel Crabbs, and I am here today with Adam Jones. And that's a real name, isn't it?
That's my real name.
You're not.
Yes. I'm Adam David Jones. Yes.
Adam David Jones. And Mr. Jones, we're going to call him Adam,
We can do that.
is planning the first Mary Jane Festival to
Free Mary Jane Fest.
and what is its purpose again?
It's a 2-day benefit concert to promote the agricultural production of industrial hemp in south central Pennsylvania.
Wow, that sounds like fun. When is it?
It is. It's September 12th and 13th.
Okay.
It's a 2-day music festival. There's overnight camping, and it's in Ellicker's Grove in Spring Grove, Pennsylvania.
Okay. You were telling me about this place. It's apparently a very lovely area.
Beautiful. It's very nice.
It has pavilions and
9 acres, pavilions, big beautiful trees, a playground, our own kitchen. We have a local chef from the Otland House coming to cook our food.
wow.
Yeah, we have vendors, we have vending spots. There's a chapel in case anybody wants to get married.
Well, at the Mary Jane Festival.
Uh-huh.
All right. Now, most people. Well, first of all, before we get there, you are by trade an actor.
Yes. I trained at NYU and Lee Strasberg Theater and Film Institute in New York City, and I lived there for 8 years. And I came back here to South Central Pennsylvania, where I was born, 16 months ago. I worked at Eichelberger Performing Arts Center for 6 months, and now I work in Westminster teaching acting.
Oh, how nice.
Yes.
So, how does that work with industrial hemp, or is it?
Well, it doesn't really. This is more of a side project for me. My friend and I created a company, a nonprofit company called The Down Vibe, and its purpose is to promote nonprofits in this area, particularly when they have to do with liberalization of what we consider to be unnecessary laws, and in this case against farmers.
So you say it's for the to benefit industrial hemp. I guess the decriminalization of that.
No. It's not actually a criminal act to grow hemp. It's regulated by the DEA, and there are approximately 12 different farmers throughout the country who who can grow hemp, but the red tape is almost impossible to get through. And it's not actually illegal, it's just highly regulated. So essentially, no one gets...
So if you don't get the license...
You don't get the license,
remember,
you don't get to do it.
Badges? We ain't got no
Right,
badges.
right.
We don't... So,
we ain't got no stinking badges.
That's right. We don't need no stinking badges.
Yeah.
Well, you need a stinking badge if you want to grow hemp.
I know, and it doesn't make any sense.
It's wild.
I know.
Tell us about the history of hemp farming in this area.
Let me just first preface that we have a local hemp scholar. His name is Les Stark, and he's from Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, who will be speaking at our event. He'll be giving at least 2 lectures, probably more. And he gave me a lot of the information that I know today, which really got me excited about this event. Hemp was grown all over the 13 colonies right from the beginning. In 1619, it was mandatory in Jamestown for the farmers to grow hemp because it was such an important crop. But basically everybody wanted to do it anyway because our clothes were made out of it, our linen was made out of it, our napkins, our paper. Hemp has 90%, I believe, fiber in it compared to 30% in a tree. So you get much more paper out of the same poundage of hemp than you do a tree, and it's so much easier to grow.
Didn't you say hemp is a weed?
It's similar to a weed. It's a plant. I mean, every weed is a plant, right?
Right.
But this weed just grows very well without any pesticides. It grows in kind of clumps, and it basically deters any other plants from overtaking it. Plus, it puts more nutrients back into the soil than a lot of the stuff we grow now, like corn in this area. And so anyway, from a very early time, Lancaster and York County produced more hemp than anywhere else in the United States, probably even the Western Hemisphere. George Washington, Ben Franklin, they used to write to their friends and people, and we have record of this, about how Lancaster and York County were so beneficial to the economy of the early Americas because of their hemp production.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you tell me that the Declaration of Independence is written on hemp?
Yes, it was.
On hemp paper.
On hemp paper. Yes, it was.
Wow. You
have to realize how important it was to the economy back then, and I believe possibly how important it could be to our economy now. Mm-hmm. It was like I said, it was everything. Rope was made from hemp. Lancaster and York County were so big for hemp because Philadelphia was so close by, and every single ship required 60 tons of hemp fabrics, ropes, and other things to make the ship, work. And that had to be replaced every 2 years. So the demand for hemp was extremely, prolific at that time. And it continued to be extremely prolific up until the cotton gin really started to overtake our major, what we made most of our clothes out of. Became cotton because the cotton gin just made it so much cheaper to take the seeds out of cotton.
But the hemp is still used for ropes a significant amount of.
It is, but none of it's produced in the United States. It's all grown everywhere else, and then we have to import it.
Well, that's pretty sad.
It is sad. Canada loves us because we regulate it so much, and their farmers are making money off of it like every year.
For all these products that you're talking about.
For all these products that we could be talking about. There's a Sean Meadows, I believe. He's based out of Lancaster. He makes hemp pretzels, and he has a very good business selling hemp products. But he has to import, and he lives in Lancaster. Like this is the center of hemp, like in the Western Hemisphere, right here.
Well, wait a minute. Is Hempfield in?
Hempfield, yes, East and West Hempfield Township. That's why they call it Hempfield for years and years and years. That was just common, And that's
you think they have any of their
Lancaster.
seeds left over there somewhere in somebody's basement?
Oh, I don't know. They do have a lot of the stone mills. You can still find them sometimes in fields that were abandoned and stuff like that. You can find the stones that they use to mill the hemp, because after you break the stalk, if you want to make it very fine to make like nice clothing, not rough clothing, you have to like roll this. They used to roll this stone over it, and that would break it up even more. And then from there, you can make very fine fabrics.
Is that so? The linen is made that way, is it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Linen or a handkerchief or.
So if farmers in Pennsylvania could grow hemp, they could sell it using it for ropes and clothing and paper.
Food.
Just think of the paper.
Paper alone.
You would think Gladfelter Company would be real into this.
But
and they're in Spring Grove, right?
Yeah, that's a good point. And at the same time, I would hope so. I don't know, honestly, I don't know the intricacies of the industry of paper. It's possible that they would not want that because they would lobby against that.
Perhaps.
But let me say, all the farmers of of Pennsylvania got together in 2000, and they drafted a proposition to lobby the federal government to let us grow hemp again, because we can make a lot of money off of it, and because it's good for the soil and it's good for farmers. So it's a very a lot of people have a lot of fear of it, but it's supported by the people that it means the most to. And that's our local farmers.
Right. The other thing that I had heard is that the hemp, the seed can be used for oil?
Yes. Hemp oil can be used for a lot of different things. They can be used for cosmetic products. We don't even know how much it could be used for because we're not allowed to research it. Not really.
Oh, I see. When did it become so regulated?
In 1938.
Okay, so we did in fact have the what's that engine called that's in cars or truck? The
diesel engine.
Well, diesel, but also just a combustion engine.
Okay.
Okay, so they use gasoline for. Could instead of ethanol, could you have hempanol? Or
well, it's possible. A lot of biofuels is very big right now. Hemp would be another example of a biofuel. Just like some, like hippies' diesel cars can be converted using vegetable oil, and they can run off of vegetable oil. So hemp oil could feasibly run a diesel engine as well. In fact, some of the first engines ever produced, you got to remember, this is the first engine ever produced, like around here and stuff, was like 1903 around there. I know it was 1903, a major company, I'm not sure which one, sorry. But their engines were run off of hemp oil because it was common. You understand? It was like everybody didn't question it. It was part of our culture. And now it has been relabeled as demonized in a certain sense. And one of the things I'm trying to do is relabel it again, back to the way it was before.
Someone just said that actually the term marijuana was a racist.
I did hear that recently, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure the origins of that or how that really works.
Maybe we'll find out. But
maybe we will.
But so I think you were telling me though that the hemp that would be produced industrially is not that which makes people high.
That's correct. It will not make you high. It's impossible.
Well, what is it? So what is it?
Okay, basically cannabis sativa, which is for lack of a better word, the cannabis plant, I guess, was discovered and cultivated in India a long time ago, millennium ago. Mm-hmm. And when people realized that, they have a whole bunch of plants growing in one field, and then in another field, they smoke the first plants they use for rope, and no one really thinks about it. And someone figures out you smoke this one over here, it does get you a little high or whatever. Mm-hmm. Okay, so then they start to breed those plants for that purpose.
Okay.
It serves a human need, apparently. And then they started to breed the same plant, but they breed it in different ways to get better rope. And then a third variety, from what I've been told, is they bred for seeds, probably used for oil and possibly feed for animals and things like that. Mm-hmm. The whole hemp plant can be used on the farm as well. It was nothing is thrown away.
That is so interesting. When we're going to be taking a break in about a minute and a half. So, but when we come back to, I really want to hear about all the different people that you have coming to this concert. Okay. I think this sounds like it's going to be great fun.
Yes, it will.
But I guess you really want to make it clear that there will be no
illegal drugs.
No illegal drugs.
No underage drinking. Yeah, we have a pretty large security force headed up by a friend of mine who is a Marine Corps, ex-Marine Corps gentleman, and he'll be in charge. Well, I'll give him a badge. He will have a stinking he'll have a stinking badge.
You have a few good men.
More than a few, like 25.
Trying to make sure that everybody stays cool. And
safe, yeah, absolutely.
It is unfortunate, I think, that most people are basically clueless about the value of hemp in our culture or cannabis, because we have spent, a good deal of time demonizing it.
We spent 70 years doing that,
yeah. Well, when we come back, we'll talk more about that and about the festivities to come.
Okay.
The Mary Jane Festival. Okay, welcome back. We are talking about the Mary Jane Festival. Mm-hmm. Is that what we're calling it?
We call it the Mary Jane Fest.
The Mary Jane Fest. And it's going to be in Spring Grove, September 12th.
And 13th.
And 13th. So it's a Friday night through Sunday?
It's a Saturday through Sunday.
Okay.
It's actually approximately 32 hours of being on the grounds, but we have 26 hours of music during that time.
You mean the music's going to be playing through the night?
Till about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, and are there neighbors around that may object
Not many.
to this?
we
make sure you invite them.
We talked with them. Yeah. There's one gentleman who doesn't mind at all because he's almost completely deaf. He's very
that works
he's
out.
very nice. I really liked him. And then the next closest people are like 300 yards away. And after a certain time, and there's no sound ordinance, but we don't want to disturb anybody. The music is going to be housed inside a pavilion, so
that'll muffle it somewhat.
Yeah, a lot.
So there's camping.
Yes. It's overnight from Saturday to Sunday.
So people are encouraged to bring tents, or are there
Absolutely.
hookups for campers?
Yeah, that's a good point. There are no RV hookups. It's just camping.
Okay.
They're welcome to bring food, but we will sell them beverages and food as well.
Are there places where they can cook their hot dogs and stuff?
We have bonfires. Yep. We have license to have bonfires. We'll have at least 2. I mean, if you want to bring hot dogs and put them on a stick, you can.
Well, I mean, if you're going to, would you suggest people bring their children? I mean, if there are, listen, by the way, what is this? Today's the 30th anniversary of Woodstock?
That's what I heard. I have not confirmed that. Anybody?
Woodstock.
No. So that's interesting. This is going to be the Woodstock of South Central Pennsylvania.
Exactly.
The 21st century, Woodstock, except hopefully, we actually make some money and that we don't go too far in debt like they did at Woodstock and put it towards a good cause. But it would be good too, but everything's covered. Pavilions, everything's covered. So it's not an issue of, shocking anybody and most people should be able to stand on the pavilions.
All right, so how many bands do you have coming?
18 at least.
Okay, you want to tell us what some of their names are?
I think I do.
Well, will somebody in this audience recognize these guys?
I hope so. I hope so. We have some great bands. We have Pasadena, a lot of these bands from Baltimore. Pasadena, Anti-Heroes, Bond and Bentley, Compound from York, Unit 13, a DJ from York, DJ Atreyu, MC Windchill from Baltimore, BC from Hanover, Vinny Vegas is a band from Baltimore. Nancy Sirianni is coming from New York City.
Wow.
Yeah, I met her on set because I'm an actor. Flight Cage Syndrome from Hanover, The Big Scare from Baltimore, Hippie from Philadelphia. The Sketchbook Diary, who I'm excited about, they're coming from Dover, Pennsylvania, so they're pretty close to where we are now. And Jason Weinberg from Hanover will be there as well.
Well, now, if all of these bands have groupies, you're going to have...
That should be okay.
You'll be fine.
Yeah.
But the problem with the groupies is they'll never put any money out. That's the problem.
Well,
I mean, if it's like it was.
I don't know what a groupie really is. What's your definition of a groupie?
I don't know.
Someone who's cheap.
I'm just... Well, actually, the other night I saw the Monterey Pop Festival. I think was Monterey. Was that it?
You said something about that, yeah.
Was it?
In California.
In California, when they had Janis Joplin and
I tried
Jimi
to get Janis.
Hendrix.
Janice and Jimmy were both booked.
And Otis Redding. He's not available
He's
either.
not available either. Yeah, but Pasadena is.
Good. Well, do you think the more mature folks, I'm just thinking maybe
honestly, it's an interesting mix. Honestly, I mean, we have bands. I mean, there's some bands we're still looking to book, like Jimmy's Chicken Shack. But it's an issue of affordability. A lot of these bands, this is their career, and a lot of these people, we're getting them to do it for virtually nothing because they support the cause, because they want to meet 1,000 new fans. And a lot of them are friends of ours too, so that helps. But we also have everything from sort of hard rock to just acoustic acts and folk acts. If you are concerned, I would say I don't know. I mean, it's really hard for me to say. This is kind of like my first time doing this. I'm sure no one will be in any sort of danger. I have a lot of people making sure of that, and security will be there and taking care of people. So,
well, do you anticipate? I mean, I keep picturing.
I picture different things every day.
I picture baby boomers showing up, maybe just because it'll take them back to the day.
I would love that. I would love that.
Wouldn't it be cool? And of course, then their kids wouldn't show up because
mom and dad. Well, hopefully Dad and Mom are cool enough that they'll show up and engage in a discussion about this too.
Yeah, I think you said one of the guys is going to be there giving a lecture.
At least Les Stark, and I'm working on Ryan Grimm from DC. Hopefully he'll be able to come.
To get some people there to actually speak on the importance of this, getting rid of this crazy regulation of cannabis. It is insane. That really is. To me, it makes so little sense.
And everybody's got a different opinion about it. You know what I mean? And every opinion has a legitimacy. I think. I just want to engage at least in a discussion. I think that's the first step.
Yes.
And that's what we're doing right now.
And you're going to talk about it over the sound of the music right now. That'll be fun.
I have it scheduled. I have it scheduled. It's really going to be a lot to go on. I mean, not only do I have people speaking and musicians, but I have magicians and jugglers and.
Oh, you have some strongmen.
Yes.
What's
Chris
that guy?
Ryder.
Yes. And he's from Thomasville.
And he's from Thomasville. He's right down the street from where it's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I met him. Someone said, "Oh, you ought to interview him," and I said, "Well," I went up to him. I said, "So what's your claim to fame?" He goes, "I am one of the strongest men in the world." And I went, "Whoa!" I didn't want him to shake my hand. I thought he might hurt it, but he turned out to be a gentle man. He can twist.
I've heard stories. I can't wait to see it.
Horseshoes, geek like this.
Wow!
And
can't wait.
From that, he has developed artwork. From bending metals and making.
I'm going to give him a vending stand.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely.
Maybe he could sell some of his artwork.
I would love that. That would
but
be
he
awesome.
is a strong man. I mean, that's how he builds himself. And he told me he had just gotten back from a tour of Ireland. That's all they do at shows. They bend stuff.
And he lives in Thomasville. He's the strongest man in the world. That's neat.
He's only 30 or something like that. I think he said to me he had a little girl 3 years old, and she's really strong too. Maybe she can do some things for you there.
Right. Okay. Well,
you said you have a magician?
Yes, my friend Patrick Terry. He's a professional magician from New York City.
Okay.
He'll be coming down with Nancy. And my other friend who's actually a juggler and works in film, his name is Josh Neal.
What kind of food is this guy from the Altland House going to be
fixing? His name's Chef Matt Byers. He's been a friend of mine for 15, 16 years, since we worked together at the Altland House when we were both teenagers. He's worked at the Altland House since he was allowed to work. Mm-hmm. He is so good at taking like everyday food and just making it phenomenal.
Okay.
That's exactly what I need, because obviously I want to try to keep my costs down. But for everybody at home, like, food will be very affordable, like $3 for hamburgers and stuff like that. I'm not, we're not racking people. We just want to, get our money back and make some sort of a profit. And he'll do so good at it.
Well, this is a benefit.
Yes, it's a benefit.
So where do the funds end up going?
Well,
if you make any money.
If we make any money, we have a couple options. My backup option, honestly, is not that they're not good. But it's Vote Hemp, and they're a national organization. And I did some research, and they don't have a lot going on in this area. They're very good at what they do, but I would really like to focus on South Central Pennsylvania and York and Lancaster County in particular. Mm-hmm. Sean House, who I should correct, my friend's name from Lancaster, his name is Sean House. We're talking about different options of some nonprofits in this area, but we haven't settled on anything that's completely appropriate yet. Mm-hmm. Vote Hemp is a backup plan, but I would like to see somebody, maybe that becomes very interested in it, because of this festival or because of just the word that we're trying to spread, someone would be interested in creating a nonprofit that's strictly geared to lobbying for hemp production in York and Lancaster counties. Because especially in Lancaster County, we're losing our farmland. People will push up from Baltimore, happens all the time, and it's just a natural way of things. But this part of, especially Lancaster County, but a lot of York County as well, its history is farmland, and its history is tied to hemp, and we're losing that. And I would like to kind of bring that back and to re-educate people about the importance of it.
I can't think, of anything that would be of more interest, even to the progressives and the whoever else wants the statists. This whole move and concern about the environment, it seems to me that it's a laydown.
Oh, it's
Here
easy.
is a fast-growing, easy-growing.
Very easy. 100 days from seed to stalk, ready to harvest.
No kidding.
100 days, yes.
That's
and like
that's
I said,
awesome.
pound for pound, you get so much more paper and other things out of it.
So much less we wouldn't even have to worry so much about recycling.
Use the whole plant.
Oh, that is just, I mean, and I can see what your concerns would be. Trying to get a wedge and get moving with it. What a great idea. Now we're only going to have, a couple minutes, but
Okay.
Before you let everybody know your last thoughts and stuff, I just want to tell you, I think it's so cool that you are doing this. Obviously, I hear you're an actor and all, but you're obviously a young man, and I am just tickled that the guys are stepping up to the plate and saying, let's take care of our needs right here, right locally. Again, it's like one of the reasons I started doing this show is because I want to impact locally on our health, our well-being, and the care of each other that we have. And how much fun are you going to have at this great
I don't know.
festival?
I'm not sure how much fun I'm going to have, honestly. I might be a little overwhelmed.
Yeah, but it's just going to be nifty.
Yeah.
All right, well, so we have 2 minutes left. Why don't you try and give us, I don't know. I mean, it's just, there's so much to say, I'm
There's
sure.
a lot to say.
But what would you like everyone to remember about this, especially, I presume, the dates?
Okay. Well,
Oh, excuse me, and how they could reach you.
okay. That's a good one.
Okay.
How do I write that down? I did write that down.
Good.
I just want to reiterate the importance of just realizing that hemp as a crop could be really, really good for just not Pennsylvania, but the United States economy as well. I mean, it's not going to put us in any kind of utopia, but it will push us towards, hopefully a better economy and a more sustainable economy. I mean, there's nothing more green than growing, your own fuel, okay? And there's a lot that could be done with it. And I just want everybody to think about, not all snakes are poisonous, okay? Most of them are harmless, all right? And that's pretty much the case here. But anyway, if you would like to come to the festival, it is September 12th and 13th. It's at Ellicker's Grove in Spring Grove, Pennsylvania, and that is 511 Roth Church Road. Very easy to get to off of Route 30. There's a $15 suggested donation. We're negotiable. Food and drink will be sold. Again, we have 18-plus bands. A lot of different nonprofits will be there supporting their cause. We have vendors from all over the area, at least 10, 11, however many vendors I can basically fit.
And in 10 seconds.
And it starts at noon on September 12th and it ends at 8 p.m. September 13th.
Okay. And I think I'm going to try to go. Honest to goodness.